This Women's Month, the South African Society of Psychiatrists is spotlighting a struggle that many women and girls have endured for decades, living with undiagnosed or misunderstood attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Experts say that ADHD has for far too long worn a masculine mask, depicted as a disorder of noisy, impulsive boys bouncing off classroom walls. Members of the South African Society of Psychiatrists, Dr. Melané van Zyl, joins us for more. Dr. van Zyl, a very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. I mean, the face of ADHD comes with many misconceptions. Where have we missed the mark? What do we need to unlearn?
Boys usually present because they are very busy and hyperactive. So it's easy to see a boy that is impulsive and disrupting the class, whilst girls, with them, the symptoms are more silent and they internalize the symptoms. So they sit and dream and forget and lose things and don't really bother the teachers or their parents. And they also tend to try to really want to fit in socially and do well at school. So they become perfectionistic or learn how to try to adapt into society. However, they become very distressed and anxious and even depressed due to their condition not being treated.
And what are some of the symptoms? I mean, what should one be looking out for so that they're not blinded by the stereotype?
Yes, it is more difficult. So girls tend to have the symptoms of inattention. Yeah. So they forget, they lose things, they struggle to start tasks, they procrastinate, they cannot follow through on orders, that type of thing. So you really have to look for it. It may often present with other symptoms such as anxiety or depression or emotional dysregulation or interpersonal difficulties, problems with their friends and so on. Maybe doing not so well at school. Things like that. So it's quite subtle, and we really have to be careful to look out for it.
But then again, of course, the girls and the boys later become adults, and it doesn't mean because it's been undetected, it goes away. How then does it evolve?
Exactly. So according to the data that I looked at, in childhood, boys are diagnosed twice as much as the girls. But by the time we get to adulthood, men are diagnosed 6 times as much as women. So the problem seems to get worse and worse. And also remember then women often become mothers, and in motherhood, typically this problem becomes even worse because now you have more balls to hold in the air. So, and of course, ADHD there's a big genetic component. So the chances are quite high that you might have a child with ADHD, and then you're also going to struggle to manage your child with the same condition.
With the inattentive symptoms and hyper-impulsive symptoms, there's a lot to read in between the lines. What are some of the solutions? I mean, how does one navigate this from childhood to adulthood? But perhaps let's start with childhood.
So what we actually need is better diagnostic tests. At the moment, there's actually nowhere in the world there is a gender-specific diagnostic test for ADHD. So we probably need to make the medical students and all people that are going to work with children aware of this condition, especially to look out for it in girls. And then we need to make public awareness, raise public awareness like we're doing tonight, so that parents, people themselves, everybody in the community can be on the lookout for this condition.
But it's either you're medicated or you're not medicated. I mean, it's a decision, isn't it?
We will always discuss it with the patient in the end, but medication is very effective. So in most cases, we will recommend medication. There are different medications available. So even if the first treatment doesn't work, we will usually try something different. But medication is not the only treatment. We also need to give psychotherapy and treat the whole family, assist the parents in helping the child. And of course, lifestyle adjustments, like for any mental condition, you need to eat healthy and exercise and sleep enough and all those things.
So, as you talk about medication, I mean, there's always concerns about some of the side effects. I've heard parents talking about a very mellow, almost zombied kind of child. Of course, perhaps break down some of the tiers of medication and the concerns that parents may face in making the decision.
So my impression through the years is that if the medication turns the child into a zombie, that's what they often will say, is that either the diagnosis is not right or the dosage is not right. So often parents will say that they have seen another child, and they know the child is on this medication and the child looks like a zombie. So that is not supposed to happen, it means that something is wrong, either the diagnosis or the medication is not right for that child. So these days we have stimulant medication and non-stimulant medication. So stimulant medication will typically have side effects such as keeping you awake, or can cause a bit of anxiety, decreasing your appetite, you don't want to eat. So if those things are really problematic, we will change to a non-stimulant medication. In general, the medication for ADHD is actually very safe. It is the stimulants are still Schedule 6, but we are fighting to get it rescheduled as a Schedule 5 medication, because it also makes it more difficult to get children on the right medication if it's such a high schedule.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to us this evening. Member of the South African Society of Psychiatrists, Dr. Melané van Zyl.